What happened to men? Back in the day, men used to drive truck, drink beer, get drafted into war, and die. And nowadays, men play video game, simp e-girl, become e-girl, and cry. Men used to look like this, and now men look like this. Thanks to leftism, soy, impossible burgers, and sissy hypno fetish videos on YouTube. The left wants to take your dick and crush it. The left wants to take your balls and grind them into dust. So a few weeks ago, it was International Men's Day, or a month ago now. Jesus Christ. These past 2 months have felt like a week. But whatever, it was International Men's Day, and boy were the takes hot. And by hot, I of course mean extremely stale and we're tired of it. I must have seen like 20 of the same stupid joke. International Men's Day? Isn't that every day? Shut the fuck up, Karen. How about you go live, laugh, leave us the fuck alone, bitch? Overall, I found the discourse about men's issues has actually improved since the time I created this channel, which is really nice to see. When you bring up men's issues online, you tend to see a lot of, well, it's the patriarchy, and you're kind of just left like, okay, so can we do anything about it? No, it's the patriarchy. It's the mess men have created for themselves. Like, sorry men, you've created society, and therefore, whatever bad happens to you, you just gotta lay in the bed you made. Oh, you're a man and you're poor? Too bad, you should have thought of that before you created capitalism. I don't know, maybe that shouldn't be the only answer every time men's issues are brought up. So around this time of year, conservatives experience a collective hallucination known as the War on Christmas. But there is another war the right is waging, and that is the war on femboys.
Oh no. While doing laundry, I seem to have somehow got stuck in this dryer.
The thing that sparked this all was this picture of Harry Styles wearing a dress on the cover of Vogue magazine. Look at this. A male rock star wearing women's clothing? Could you ever fathom such a thing? So this photo shoot just... right-wing Twitter was poppin'. So oh my god. I almost called him Harry Potter. I'm sorry, I am, after all, Allah forgive me, a liberal. Harry Styles wore a dress, but looking at these reactions, you'd think he, like, rose from the depths of hell, burned our crops, and poisoned our water supply. So let's read some of these takes, and then I'm going to respond to a video by Ben Shapiro, and also Ben Shapiro's sister, Abby Shapiro. We got the whole Shapiro family here today. This is why we need gender norms. If you don't teach men to be men, they'll be whatever this is. A successful pop star? Antifa holds a photo shoot. Harry Styles is Antifa now. China is laughing at us. Yo, who the f cares? Wouldn't that be a good thing if, like, a country like China was, like, looking down at us for having freedom? God help us. I'm sorry, but there is nothing attractive or beautiful about those clothes being modeled by a man. It doesn't draw me to want to purchase the clothes or the magazine. It does, however, take me to my knees, begging Jesus to come quickly. No. God save us. God save us of the radical left. Please, pray with us for Trump victory. God have mercy of us. Holy sh**. I see some of my favorite Republicans disagreeing with this. This is nothing wrong. Who cares if men are embracing femininity? Based little Republican zoomer. It is reality that the Y chromosome, which determines the male sex, has deteriorated over time as a result of the mutations it has suffered. These are the consequences. The Y chromosome is deteriorating? It's the future feminists want. We were warned. I warned you all. He's available, ladies. there are possibly millions of women who would f Harry Styles. I don't know many women who will f Dan Stringer. Would you? He's available, ladies. Biden gets elected by promising a return to normal. Then the left goes all in on men in dresses. Yeah, that's right. This is Joe Biden's America now. Put on the dress, rightoid. This dude gets 0 girls. He's a fucking millionaire rock star. Absolutely disgusting. This is not our society as much as you want to transform it. Men are men, not women. If you're mad about that, get over it. He's still a man. He's a man! Remember when men used to be men and not weak soy boys like this? Imagine wearing this when out. He wouldn't last long in some places. Yeah, that's the issue. Lord help us all. These soft-handed, Starbucks coffee-drinking, skinny jean-wearing man ladies haven't ever had a real woman in their lives. Here you go, a real man from back in my day. Oh, and a great president too, and it's Ronald Reagan. If a genie appeared right now in front of me and granted me 3 wishes, I would wish for 1, world peace, 2, the power of invisibility, and 3, I wish that I could bring Ronald Reagan back from the dead. So I can that motherfucker with my own bare hands. Now this is just extra funny to me because like 90% of the femboys I know of on Twitter are some flavor of far right. Why are all the femboys racist? We're actually at the point where instead of the stereotypical a man getting mad that a woman he thought was cute turned out to be a man, they're now getting upset that the man dressed up like a woman turned out to be an actual woman. Women, we're becoming obsolete. The men are just gonna start dressing in maid outfits and f***ing their bros. They're already working on artificial wombs. We're f***ed. It's over. Consider political lesbianism. There is no society that can survive without strong men. The East knows this. Are you sure about that?
Candace, I'm a guy. Why can't I just wear a dress? Because you can't, okay? You can't. But I just want to express myself in little girl clothing. You can't. You're not allowed to.
I love how all these people are just like, freedom, freedom, freedom. And the second some dude has the audacity to throw on a pretty piece of fabric, this is some serious authoritarian ass shit. Like in her perfect society, what does she want to happen? The Gestapo to take you away if you dare wear clothing that wasn't designed specifically for your gender? I'm wearing men's sweatpants right now. Like, what are you gonna do, Candace? Break down my door? What are you gonna do, Candace? Handcuff me? What are you gonna do, Candace? Tie me to the bed? Also, Candace, this you? She's always wearing these, like, cute little suits. More than she wears dresses. What she's wearing here could have been considered men's clothing not that long ago. Women, what happened? I hate these memes. This is the classic one. I hate this meme. Because first of all, that dude, he looks comfy as hell. Based and cozy pilled. And the other guy in the suit still exists. Throw a suit on the cozy guy, bada bing, bada boom. You got yourself a classical man. Masculine men still exist. They're not going anywhere. I hope they don't go anywhere. My lizard brain is extremely attracted to masculinity. If masculinity becomes endangered, believe me, I will be like PETA protesting. But unlike PETA and the animals, I won't be kidnapping and killing the men.
This brings us to the Vogue photo shoot with Harry Styles, in which he dressed garishly in a bunch of women's clothing. And he looks like an idiot. And let's just put that out there straight up front. He looks like a moron. Let's say that you're a married woman and your husband comes through the door wearing one of your gowns. Would your first reaction be, I love how you're bending gender norms, honey?
I'd be like, hell yeah. Easier access to the I'm so sorry, Mom and Dad. I know you're watching this.
Fabio, I asked our hair and makeup person, Fabiola, about this. And her reaction, I thought, was on the mark. She said, if my husband walked through the door wearing one of my dresses, I would punch him.
Healthy relationship.
See, here's where the gaslighting comes in. Vogue treats this as groundbreaking and wonderful. And we are told this is very brave, incredibly brave.
Literally this fucking week, a kid was suspended from school for painting his nails. And these motherfuckers are up on their pedestal like, so stunning and brave. It fucking is. Until like this stops happening, it is unironically brave. I would love to get to the point in society, Benjamin, that it isn't stunning and brave. I would love to get to the point in society where a dude can paint his nails or put a dress on and everyone's just like, okay, don't care. That is the America that I want to live in.
Masculinity and femininity do exist. And not only that, how does this tie into the whole dress conversation? Outward indicators of masculinity and femininity exist in nearly every human culture, right? We train little boys to be masculine and we train little girls to be more feminine.
Gender's in the mind, or how you express yourself. And sex is biological, your genitals. This is 3rd grade stuff. Remember penis inspection day at school? There is a reason females have vagina and men have beepus. But there is no reason blue is a boy color and pink is a girl color. There is no reason dresses are for women. We made that up.
It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale.
The stupidest form of the argument that I saw yesterday online was, well, in Scotland, they wear kilts. That means that a man in America wearing a skirt, a floofy skirt, is the same as a man in Scotland wearing a kilt. No, because they also distinguish between how men wear clothes and women wear clothes in Scotland, too. It's just that men wear different clothes than men in America. To suggest that because men wore something, like a kilt in Scotland, that if you transferred over to America would look more feminine, therefore a man wearing a skirt in America in 2020 is just the same in the male-female paradigm as a man wearing a kilt in Scotland in 1590 is insane and idiotic and ridiculous on its face, and we all know that.
At what point does a kilt become a skirt, or a skirt become a kilt? So it literally is just arbitrary American fashion trends. The purpose of pointing out that men wore dresses back in the day is to show that these things are always changing. For all you know, in 200 years, dresses could be the man thing. And there'll be someone on future YouTube trying to explain to their audience that women should be allowed to wear dresses too. I love how I say 200 years. Like we're gonna be around for 200 more years. Hilarious.
Masculinity and femininity are categories. They exist. Right? Some behavior is more masculine, like punching people in the face. Some behavior is more feminine, like wearing floofy dresses.
People bully Ben online all the time because he's short. Do I get bullied because I'm short? No. Why does Ben get bullied because he's short? Because he's a man. Short men are seen as weak and fragile and whatever. Which, by the way, is not true. We love our short kings on this channel. But you'd think because of this, Ben would kind of sit back and be like, hey yo, maybe all this like gender stereotype is kind of dumb. Maybe I should just ignore the fact that some guys like to wear different clothes than me. I'm just gonna, throw on my cowboy hat and lean against a truck and do my own thing. Fellas, what's stopping you from looking like this? Okay, I am done with this man. Let's see what Rule 62 gender swapped Ben Shapiro has to say about this. Ben Shapiro's sister, Abby Shapiro, the woman that YouTube really wants me to watch. I cannot escape the ads. Abby Shapiro is one of the most requested response requests that I get. Please do a video responding to Abby Shapiro. Please do a video responding to Abby Shapiro. And it's like, I avoided it for the most part because like, it seems like most of her channel is just your typical like, I'm a trad wife, I love the home and baking cookies. Just like that kind of thing. And let me just say, I'm kind of traditional myself, okay? I would love to be a stay-at-home mom, baking cookies and But the time has come. It is time to respond to Abby Shapiro.
Hello, Classic Crew, and welcome to today's episode of The Scoop. I love hearing what you guys have been up to, so please leave that in the comments. I always read them.
She always reads them. Now's my chance. Hello, mommy.
The first thing I want to talk about today is something that kind of went viral on Twitter, and that was Harry Styles in a dress on the cover of Vogue. Yeah, that really happened. It's 2020. Anything can happen, it seems.
What? Am I just like Am I just like desensitized? Am I calloused? I remember being a teenager, right? Back in the early days. Way back. The days of eBaum's World and LimeWire. I remember being on the internet in those days and seeing some wild, crazy shit. Like I'd have images burned into my mind. I still can't eat chocolate ice cream. Now I see objectively worse things online, like every day, and I just kind of scroll past it. It's like wallpaper to me. Maybe I am just callous to debauchery. Perhaps I need therapy. Or maybe, feel free to disagree here, maybe these people might just be colossal snowflakes, and there's nothing actually that crazy or wrong with a man choosing to wear a dress. I should actually probably go to therapy though.
As somebody who really values masculinity,
Same.
and finds masculinity very attractive,
Same.
I don't find Harry Styles in a dress attractive.
Okay. Neither do I. It's not really a attractive, sexy thing to me when a dude wears a dress. Like, the clothing itself is not hot. In fact, this dress in particular, honey, it's kind of a ugly dress. The attractive part to me would come from the confidence, the no f***s given attitude. The way the man can carry himself and not give a shit about what society or you think. If Harry wasn't some rich, famous celebrity and he walked around in a dress, he would get, like, beat up and called a f***. I can say that, okay? I'm half f***. I know that's not how that works. But f*** you.
Harry Styles in a dress is just my type. He looks so handsome. He looks so great. No. Incorrect.
Incorrect! Abby Shapiro, arbiter of your sexual taste. You think freckles are hot? Bzz, wrongo. You like facial hair? Bzz, wrongo. You like feet? Actually, unironically wrong. Stop doing that.
As somebody who loves the fact that my husband is a man and is masculine, strictly from the perspective of am I attracted to a man who would put on a dress? The answer is no. Seeing a man in a dress doesn't really do it for me. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh my god, we get it! Nobody is forcing you to f*** Harry Styles.
Men don't belong in dresses. In Western culture, it's not a thing.
Men don't belong in dresses. Holy shit. See, I thought this was just gonna be like a moderate conservative take. Kind of like a, oh, they can do whatever they want, but don't shove it in my face. It's their freedom, it's their freedom of expression. I just don't like the agenda. Like that type of thing. But no, men don't belong in dresses. If it doesn't turn me on, it shouldn't be allowed. Could you imagine that's just how, like, the world and the country, like, operated? Things that don't make you horny should be outlawed. Pray I never get into power, you guys.
Men don't belong in dresses because men should be men. It's a good thing for men to be men. Not having masculinity at all would be a real loss to us as women.
If you wear a dress, it won't turn me on. Think about my feelings. Literally all that's happening here is if you want to wear a dress, whatever, do it. We're just trying to normalize the very basic libertarian, very basic concept of freedom, of doing whatever the hell you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. Normalize. The words coming out of my mouth. Time to get normalized. That's double plus ungood. If our forefathers came back from the dead and looked around, they would be like, why are we letting the black people vote? But they would also be like, stop treading on this man's freedom. This is America. Oh, wait! Harry Styles is British. Never mind. George Washington would just call him a fucking lobsterback and shoot him in the head.
The whole idea of toxic masculinity really bothers me because the word toxic implies that masculinity in and of itself is poisonous, and it's not.
True! Toxic masculinity is a stupid f***ing term. I will stand by this to my grave. Most feminists will be like, you know, we're not talking about all masculinity, which is true. They're just talking about, you know, the toxic parts. There's also toxic femininity or whatever. But then there's people like Andrea Dworkin's husband. Yes, she has a husband. that man's balls are in a jar somewhere. Then there's people like Andrea Dorkin's husband that are like, actually no, those other feminists are wrong. We do mean all masculinity, so shut the f up. And of course, like, the brands had to jump on this discourse, like Gucci selling a $2,000 men's dress to fight toxic masculinity. Give me $2,000 and then toxic masculinity will go away. You want to be a good ally, don't you? The toxic masculinity discourse is just shitty. I agree with some of it, and I have for years, like, society teaches men that it's not okay to cry or whatever. Men should be comfortable expressing their emotions. They shouldn't bottle shit up. They're just going to off somebody or themselves. Statistics don't lie, boys. Are you okay? Are you okay, my little pog champs? The truth is, men just aren't doing well. Everyone, really, is not doing well. The suicide rate for 10 to 29-year-old men is 77%. The suicide rate for men 30 to 44 years old is 78%. 43% university attendance. 1 in 4 homeless people are women. All the most dangerous and fatal jobs are held by men. 42% of UK men aged 18 to 45 considered suicide. 41% of men who contemplated suicide felt they couldn't talk about their feelings. 32% of men who contemplated suicide didn't want people to worry about them. Women are struggling to find men who make as much money as they do. Broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. A good man is hard to find, especially in this economy. The country is facing a crisis of broke dudes, according to new research from Cornell University, and it's left successful ladies single and disgruntled. Men are poor, women most affected. Litcher, who has been studying marriage for 30 years, says the gig economy and lack of good jobs have contributed to the death of well-to-do dudes. So is the fact that women are outpacing men educationally, upending the age-old dominance of the male breadwinner over the past 5 to 10 years. Now it's the case that more highly educated women are marrying down, says Letcher. Men have to get with the program. Single New Yorker Gina Thibodeau has some theories of her own about the fella famine. I don't even consider myself all that successful. I just make a living wage and I'm comfortable. But the majority of guys she meets can't say the same. Like, let's not pause to just step back and take a moment to think about how depressing that line is. Apparently, women aren't getting married anymore because of a surplus of broke men. This is possibly the most hilarious study we've ever read. Because let's be honest, they're benefiting from the privilege that affords them better wages, faster promotions, and intrinsic respect from everyone they meet. If they're not bringing home some financial benefit to the table after we suffer through the gender pay gap and glass ceiling, what's the point? Honestly, we're kind of obsessed with this study, because if you take away all the sexist assumptions and patronizing findings, there's one beacon of hope. The idea that men are useless if we're not draining them for money.
The American people are tired of women.
When you're a man and the one purpose in life you were told you had, which is making money to provide for a family, is starting to become almost impossible, things kind of suck. The country's happiness has just been declining in general overall. And you can look at that as a Rorschach test, depending on your ideology. You see society crumbling because a dude wants to wear a dress. I see society crumbling because we are a dying empire. We are not the same. So here's my hot take. I don't give a f***. If you are doing something that does not hurt anybody else or stop anyone else from doing whatever they want to do, then you do you. That is my outlook on life. Whether you want to be a traditionally masculine man, a traditionally feminine woman, or you're somebody who likes to experiment with style, clothing, and how you express yourself, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm pretty comfortable in my gender role, but that doesn't mean everyone else is, or more importantly, has to be. Like, who gives a shit? We are in the middle of a global pandemic. Thousands of people waiting on food lines. There's an eviction crisis. And these motherfuckers are crying about a rock star wearing a dress. And I'm crying about them crying about a rock star wearing a dress. So, who's really the most pathetic here. Listen, kings, life sucks and then you die. So do whatever the f you want. I saw your tweet about how women are trash, and I just wanted to say that I agree. Although myself, I am a woman, I know, I am on your side. One of the good ones, as they say.